So if you remember in our last lesson, we talked about describing people. This was the first thing we covered. You can describe clothes, hair. You can talk about their age. You know, there are so many different things you can describe in people. After that, after describing, we did the listening. So we listened to Peggy talking to both her children, Karen and Leo. And I think they were talking to the guests. These are some of the guests that came to the wedding, and now they're back in the anniversary party. So we've got Brenda, Jane, Derek, Nick, Trevor, and Sheila. And then we completed these sentences and we answered who said them. So we did this. And after that, we talked about deductions, how to use deductions. And we agreed that there are 5 different levels or 5 different ways that you can use deduction. So if something is definitely true, you don't use a modal verb. No modal verbs. If you think something is, not think, if you know something is definitely true, you shouldn't use a modal verb, okay? And if you know it's definitely not true, the same thing, you shouldn't use a modal verb. But if you believe it's true, you can use may, might, not may and might. I think may and might is for possibly true. But I think for if you believe it's true, you can say must. Yeah, exactly. So you can say must. If you think it's true, if you believe it's true, you should say must. If you believe it's not true, it isn't true, you can use can't. But if you believe it's possibly true, you can use may, might, could. All right. And there's a rule here that says if it's a deduction about state, we use modal verb plus infinitive. But if it's a deduction about something happening now, we use a modal verb plus verb to be plus verb plus ing. So this is the rule. We completed number 5. We talked about number 5. Now let's talk about number 6 here. It says here, fill in the gaps with the correct form of these verbs. Have you tried answering these, Sana? Or did you try answering it at? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see your answers.
You told us.
I did. I told you it's homework.
Homework.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's see your answers. Let's see how many of them are correct. So what did you do for number 2?
Okay. For number 2, be doing the shopping.
She must be doing the shopping. Nice. Okay, let's write it. She must be doing the shopping. All right. What about number 3?
Might live where he lives.
Paula might love where he lives. Are you sure? I don't know. It sounds a little, but let's write it. And then we can check in the end.
I don't know.
All right.
Yes, I
don't
know.
What about number 4? What do you have for number 4? You must.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
How are you today? We're okay.
Alhamdulillah. And you?
Alhamdulillah.
All right, nice. So this is what we're doing, Hajar. I'm gonna check Sana's answers, and then you can show us if you agree or disagree with these answers. Okay, what do you have for number 4, Sana?
Now living in London.
So what should I write?
Now.
We don't have now. Can you see now?
Mm.
Where's now? We don't have now. We
The
have
last
no.
one.
No, this
Yeah.
is no, not now.
Yeah.
You must, can we say you must know living in London?
No.
No? Okay, let's leave number 4.
Number 4, love living in London. Number 4.
Okay.
Mm.
So number 4 is you must love living in London. Okay.
Yes.
And number 3?
The last one,
No.
Bolo might know where
No.
he lives. Yes.
Okay, let's do that. So, no. Paula might know. And number 5? Josh
Okay,
can't.
can't be working now. His office is closed.
Okay, let's write it. All
Okay.
right.
Number 6, I must lose my memory.
Okay. And number 7?
We may need some more milk.
Okay. All right, so you used all of the right verbs, but there's one of them, I think there's one of them that may be the form. So what I'm saying is all of the verbs are correct, okay? You chose the right verbs, but in only one of them, the form is not correct, just the form. The verb is correct, but not the form. Which one do you think it is? What do you think, Simon? Which one do you think is the form not correct? And it might need. What's the general rule? When do we use
general rule about the state and
yes,
about the
activity, the happening now?
Yes.
Correct.
Model plus be plus verb ing.
Correct. Modal plus be plus verb ing. This is if it's happening now, right?
Yes.
Correct.
But I don't know.
Okay, let's check them. So it says here, number 2, Joanne's not here. She must be doing the shopping. This is correct, right? Because this shopping is something happening now. Because she's not here, so it's something happening now, so it's correct, right? Then it says, Paula might know where he lives because it's a state. Because when you know something, it's a state, so it's correct. You must love living in London. Again, it's also a state. Love is a state. Josh can't be working now. His office is closed. We're talking about something happening now, right? So this is correct also. What about number 6? I must lose my memory. Does anybody want to lose their memory?
No, I must be losing my memory.
Right. But why? Why is this the right answer? I must be losing my memory.
Because she didn't lose it, but she maybe because she said I keep forgetting to do things. So she is right now be losing her memory.
Correct. So it's something going on now. It's not a state.
Yes.
That's correct. It's something that's happening right now. Do you get the idea, Sana?
Yes, okay.
So number 6, it's like saying زي كأنك بالليبي تقولي شكلي بنهبل ولا شكلي بدأت نخرف. Do you get the idea? It's not, maybe it's not true.
Yeah.
Maybe there's nothing wrong. But because you're forgetting so many things, فزي اللي بديت تشكي في روحك. Do you get the idea? I must be losing my memory. This is the idea. هي كيف فكرتها يعني. So this is the only one not correct. هو correct الverb انت استعملتي lose ورا الفورم بس. All right, okay. And the last one is correct. We may need some more milk.
Okay.
All right, okay. Now let's do this listening exercise. It says listen to 6 short recordings of sounds and voices. Write sentences with must, may, might, could, or can't for each recording. Okay, so now we're gonna listen to some sounds and voices. Okay, so this means we're not gonna listen to words. Do you get the idea? يعني احنا حنسمع ل situations. حنسمع ل examples of situations. يعني كل مرة حتسمعوا حاجة مثلا زي رقم 1 مجاوبينها لك قال لك the water must be too cold. فأكيد مثلا صوت مثلا حد يستعمل في مية مسقعة ومثلا مبل ولا حاجة هيك، فأنت بتعطي الاستنتاج بتاعك أن أكيد المية كانت مسقعة مثلا. يعني احنا دورنا بنستنتجه بناء على الأصوات أو اللي نسمعوه في الريكوردينج. Do you get the idea? So let me play.
Not just say the sentence. Just.
ما هو أنت مش حتسمعي sentence أصلاً. حتسمعي موقف صوت حد يشكي حد يبكي مثلا، واحنا بنديروا استنتاج السبب. why is this يعني person making this sound or this noise. هي الفكرة. So number 1 is answered. Now we have number 2, then we have number 3. Let's prepare them. Number 4, 5, number 6. Now with each situation, I'm gonna pause and stop to give you a chance to think, okay? So let me take you to the CD. CD. Intermediate track 5. Okay. Intermediate CD3 track 5. وخلنا نسمع رقم 1 مثال يعني.
Track 5. 1. 2.
Okay. Did you hear the first example? The man was having a shower and he was very uncomfortable, right? So we can say the water must be too cold.
How do they cold? Sometimes it's very hot.
صح.
You don't know.
Yes. تقدر تقولي the water must
Yes,
be
because
too hot. Same reaction.
Very. Yes.
بالضبط.
Yes.
مفتوح هو السؤال، مش يعني انت بتديري باللي تشوفيه يعني حسب الموقف انت بتستنتجي. والاستنتاج هذا الديدكشن حيكون على حسب تأكدك من الموقف. يعني زي هذا مثلا واضح انه هو maybe shower يغسل في يديه يغسل في ظهره or something, and maybe it sounds like the water is cold, so it must be too cold, must be too hot. احنا يعني عندنا الخيار بنستعمله must ماشي الحال، تبي تستعملي may ماشي الحال، على حسب تيقنك من الاستنتاج بتاعك، حسب ثقتك من استنتاجك. يعني انت بتتحكمي شنو. مثلا لو فرضا المثال الاول مش متاكدين نقدر نقوله the water might be hot. صح ولا مش ضروري تستعملي must. تقدر تقولي the water could be hot. لو شخص مش متأكد. Alright, now let's listen to the second situation. الموقف الثاني خلينا نشوف وش بيصير وندير استنتاجنا. Let's listen. Let's find out. What's happening here? Number 2.
It might, she might be cooking.
She might be cooking.
Yes.
Do you agree, Sanad? Do you want to say she might be cooking?
Yes.
Do you have another sentence? هو صح اللي قالتها هاجر لكن مفتوح السؤال تقدي استنتاج ثاني.
Yes, maybe we not might must be cooking.
اوكي ممكن انت متاكده اكثر. زو صح. زو صح. She might be cooking لو شخص بس متاكد. لو شخص متاكد اكثر من الصوت she must be cooking. صح. Alright. So this is the first situation. Or you can say مثلا بنضيف الاستنتاج نقدر نقول she might be frying an egg. لا ممكن دحية تخلط فيها ولا حاجة.
Yes.
مفتوح يعني الموضوع اللي تشوفوه باين. Alright, now let's listen to the third situation. شوف شنو صاير.
3.
Come on. Come on. Oh.
Okay. What's going on?
Maybe the car. There is a problem with the
She
car.
must.
Okay.
No, he must be in a traffic jam.
He must be in a traffic jam. ممكن. الشخص اللي يشكي هذا صح. He must be in a traffic jam. سناء انت كان عندك جملة ثانية شو قلتي؟
About the car. Maybe there is a problem with the car.
بقى كيف تديرها بالمست والمايت والكود؟ صح.
He might be I don't know the car stopped or how he might be
انت تبي تقولي انا عندها مشكلة في السيارة.
yeah.
كيف تقولها؟ اكيد عندها مشكلة في السيارة بتقولي صح؟ او ممكن تكون عندها مشكلة في السيارة. How do you say that? He might What's the verb we use with problem? نفس اللي في العربي عندي مشكلة. شنو الverb بيكون؟
having
Yes.
a problem with the car.
Exactly. Okay, can you do the whole sentence together?
Yes. He might be having a problem with the car.
Excellent. He might be having a problem with the car. استنتاج كويس. أنا ممكن نقول نضيف عليكم.
We can use.
What do you think, Haj?
He can't be waiting. Or he can't wait.
No, here can't. Remember that can't مختلفة في الاستنتاجات من can't للقدرة. Yeah, it's not for ability. It's for something that you think is not true. So you can say, for example, he can't be walking. واضح إنه يسوق فمستحيل يكون على رجليه. So you can say he can't be walking. يعني هذا استنتاج. Or like he can't be happy. واضح عليه إنه مش happy في الريكوردينج. هذا لو تبي تستعملي can't يعني. أنت بتعكسي اللي سمعتي بتعطي حاجة ما سمعتيهاش يعني. لو تبي تستعملي can't.
Okay.
We can say ممكن حتى ندو على السيارة اللي قدامها. We can say the car in front of him must be driving slowly. صح ولا؟ because he was very angry. He says, ah, come on, beep, beep, and he's using the horn. So ممكن نقصه بعد من المايك، ممكن نخفاه شوي نقوله could be، لأنه مش معروف بالضبط في القصة. Could be driving slowly. All right, let's see the next situation. Let's find out.
4.
What do you think?
I don't hear me.
First of all, where's the place?
It's
What's going on?
It's a football match or
okay, it's some kind of match. We don't know if it's football.
any combination, maybe. Yeah.
Sorry.
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's some kind of competition. You're right. I agree with you. I think you're right.
Yeah.
So can you make this into a deduction?
It must be winning. The team must be the team must be winning.
That's good. I mean, this is correct. You can start here. The team. That's why the fans are celebrating, right? So the team must be winning. This is a good deduction. Yeah. What other deductions can we write? What else? Can you think of another one, Sana?
Yes, but maybe it's not car, but maybe it's concern.
A concert.
Yeah, true.
So okay, so you can talk about the fans or the audience, or maybe the band or the music, or think of another deduction. استنتاج تاني كيف حتقولي معنا؟
The song might be on the stage.
Do you mean the singer?
The singer.
Yeah, the singer. Yeah.
Very good. ممكن هذا الجمهور المحتفل بالمغني صح؟ Maybe. So the singer.
Yeah.
Maybe must is a little strong. نخفها شوية. نقوله might. What do you think? Might be on stage. Or maybe we can say the singer might have arrived on stage. Might be on stage. Yes, this is good. It's not bad. Okay. Let's listen to the next situation.
5.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Johnson.
What do you think?
The boss might be coming in the office.
He might be coming.
Might be arriving.
Maybe.
He
might be arriving.
He could have arrived. He could have arrived. He might have arrived. I don't know how we can put it in this way. He might have arrived. I think this is the only way you can say it. He could have.
The boss might be arriving.
But arriving.
The office.
Arriving is a verb that it's صعب شوية ينحط في continuous.
Without ing.
Because it's هو زي start هو نوعيته. Arriving أنا خلاص وصل.
Okay. Without be might arrive it.
Yes.
On the office without
Correct.
be.
Yeah. That's good.
The boss might arrive it. Yeah.
Might arrived. هذا فيها حاجة غريبة شوية. At work or in the office. I don't know. Might arrived. Could arrived. Must arrived. The boss must have. I think have. محتاجين have هنا. I don't know
maybe
why.
has.
لا هو كويس. I just think we need a have. Don't
Um,
know why we need a have. Must have arrived.
was
It feels like present perfect. مش عارف علاش لازم منها هيك نحسها ما تمشيش من غيرها. The boss might have arrived in the office.
Maybe Hajar have another
Hajar,
sentence.
what do you think, Hajar? Maybe you can help us.
maybe the guest must no must be check-in. No, must and the guest must check in.
Must checked in. حتى هي نفس القصة. لازم have. لازم بدي
Yeah,
must have checked
it's a
in.
bit strange, yeah.
Must have checked in يمشي الحال.
Yeah.
انت سنة كويس لكن الهاف نحس فيها ضرورية. So we can say the guest.
Yeah.
The guest must have checked in. Must have checked in. معقولك. I think maybe because it's something that's recent, just happened. بالنسبة للأولى لو نبغى نستغنوا على الهاف نقدر نديروا بي بس. نقدر نقولوا the boss might be in the office. وخلاص. لكن لو منوثقوا اللي هو الحدث الجديد هذا متاع كيف وصل أو كيف بدير تشيك إن، هذه قصة الكيف للريسنت الأشياء الريسنت recent past ضروري present perfect. ضروري منها. لو بنتكلموا على الريسنت past أن شيء كيف صار توا بالشكل هذا يعني must be. لكن في العموم هيك بالشكل هذا they're okay. The guest must have checked in. The guest could have checked in. Okay. Let's take a look at number 6, the last one.
6.
What do you think, Sana?
He prepares something to drink. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you make it into a deduction?
Yes, he might be drinking tea.
Good. He might be drinking tea.
Preparing, I think.
Might be preparing, صح.
Yeah.
صح. He might be drinking tea. ولا he might be preparing tea. ماشي حالهم الزوز. كويس. What else? Any other possibilities?
He must add sugar.
He must.
No.
كويسة لكن نفس قصة present perfect حتى تمشي أكتر. He must have added sugar.
Yeah.
He must have added sugar. أكيد زاد سكر. He must have added sugar. Yes. نقدر نقوله he must be stirring the tea. حرك يعني. ولا coffee. Must be stirring the tea. So stirring is just, moving the spoon in the tea or coffee. All of these are okay. All right. So these are just examples of some deductions. So the idea here, when you're not completely sure of something, you can always make a deduction. ديروا استنتاج وخلاص. If it's a state, just do, a modal verb plus infinitive. And if it's something happening now, just use modal verb be plus ing. This is the general idea. So these are quite useful if you want to talk in daily life, if you want to make deductions. I think it's very useful in conversation. So maybe if you're talking to your friend or maybe a sister or someone, and you're talking about a situation which is unclear, and you're not sure what happened, you don't maybe have all the pieces in the puzzle, you can make deductions. You can say he must have been angry because she didn't make him lunch. He could have traveled to the UK because when he called me from his WhatsApp, it had 44. No, it can't be true, you know. And it's very this is what Libyan women do all the time, you know. They start making science fiction stories when they gossip, because most Libyan gossip in Libya is science fiction, and it must have been true. No, it can't be. You can't be right, you know. So there's lots of using deductions. So this will help you when you gossip with your friends, and you can invent new scenarios. So this is the idea.
والله this is something true.
Yeah. Okay. Now, right. This lesson is nice. So here in this lesson, we're going to talk about marriage. So it's an interesting topic, I guess. And you can see here, I do. What does it mean? What do you think it means, I do?
Saying yes.
Saying yes.
Maybe.
If someone
Proposing
says,
for, yeah.
that's the idea. So it's an answer to a proposal, right? So, and it's a positive answer, I think. If someone says, I do. Do you want to marry me? Yes, I do. It means it's a positive answer for a marriage proposal. Okay, now I want you to take a quick look at these questions because these are, I think, hot topic. It's a hot topic in our country right now. And I think it's worth a discussion. But prepare these ideas in question number 1, 2, 3. And just give me a second. I'll be right back, okay? And we'll start here, 1, 2, 3. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so what is the average cost of a wedding now in Libya? Does anybody have the updated numbers right now for the cost of marriage? And let's include everything. Yes, tell us. What do you think, Haj?
For everything means the house which preparing and clothes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's think 5,000.
What? 5,000?
No. For preparing house and building, I think, yeah.
Yeah? Do you know what 5,000 is?
And no, it includes the wedding and
Maybe
the
you mean,
salaries.
do you mean 5 million?
No.
Do you mean 5 million? Because
Maybe.
5,000 راه 5,000 راه بدي لك شيء ولا حاجة 5,000.
No, yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
maybe 500,000.
Maybe 500,000. هل تقصدي 500,000
Yeah,
هاجر؟
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes 500 حتى 500,000 ما ضغطتلكش كل شيء راه مشي حالها يعني أرض في
Yeah.
ممكن منطقة نائية ممكن and a very small house ممكن حوش بتاع 100 متر و150 دارين ممكن حزك يعني maybe ممكن with the land. But even the land now is, I don't think anywhere near Tripoli you can.
Expensive, yeah.
You can't. All of it is. I think it's very, very, very hard to find land that is less than 200 dinars per meter. It's very, very hard. You can't find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially in
Here
Tripoli.
in Tripoli.
Almost impossible. You can't.
Yes.
Yes.
Even in areas which are far away, like for example, Sarraj, Anzara, Wadi Rbia, it's a bit hard to find, I think, 200 dinars per meter. Maybe you have to go really far away.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find it, but so maybe 500,000 is
far away
is a minimum.
20 dinar and for the meat
20. In which area it's 20? 70?
No, not 20. 70.
70.
Yes.
In which area is it 70?
Dinar.
Where?
It's far away. Maybe after Wadi Rbia.
You mean what's after Wadi Rbia? شنو في بعده؟ سيدي سايح. What's after that? من غشير I think بعد وادي Rbia شنو في تاني؟ I think it's قصر بن غشير.
I don't know because I saw this advertisement in the Facebook. There's land and beside them and the meter 70.
Yes, I think maybe جهة قصر بن غشير in that area قريب من طريق المطار maybe or even further أعتقد.
But before after revolution we bought land in area Nam. You know
where is
this area?
No. Where is it?
Yeah. It's
after Anzara. No, Nam, not Tajura, but
between
maybe between
near PV. Is it near? Is it near قريب من الPV?
لا.
After بعد.
After.
شنو اسمها هي الجهة هذيك يقولوا لها forgot its name. But it's between Anzara and Tajura, you're saying?
Maybe. I don't know exactly where, but I know the area called Naam.
And how much did it cost you, the land?
85.
85. But this was it in 2012, 13?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think after 2000.
Because there it's 100.
It's 100
Sorry?
now.
Yeah.
I don't know, but in that time 500 meter around 25.
Yeah, I see. No, I think it, especially with the change in the dollar and the dinar, I think the prices increased a lot. I think.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because this is after revolution, immediately after revolution.
Yeah, but I think after
I don't know now
2014,
how.
probably more expensive.
Mm.
Hajar says it's more than 100.
Mm.
Is that right, Hajar?
Yes, 100. Yeah.
Wallahi, I don't know. This is my family bought this. I don't know.
Mhm.
Even I don't know where is exactly. I don't see.
You only heard about it. So now
Yes.
Sana is making a deduction. They must have bought it. They could have bought it. They can't have bought it. And she's thinking, she's not sure. Okay,
Wallahi, I don't know anything.
but here in Libya, normally, who pays for the wedding in our country?
The man.
Both of the man and the woman, both of them, because she preparing herself
Mhm.
and she do the party of the wedding.
But I think it's not.
Yeah, it's almost about
not
the man, the
the
groom.
woman.
Yes,
His
the jewelry and
her father. Her
Her
father pay for
father.
her.
Exactly. She doesn't really pay anything.
Especially if the woman not working, this is the problem. Believe
Yeah.
me.
Yes,
yeah,
I
like me.
agree. Yeah, so
Everything pay.
Hajar's father is paying everything. Poor
Yeah.
father. This is the situation
Yes.
of men in Libya.
Yes, sure.
We're victims
Yes.
in this society. We pay everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think you're right. Yeah. Okay, but what about?
If the girl working, it's okay. She will manage everything by herself.
Even
But
if she's
if not
working, I
working,
think
this
it's hard, Sana. I mean, even if she
Correct.
does work, she can help. Alaikum salam. Hello, Malak.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, Alhamdulillah. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Like,
I think she can help a little bit with the expenses.
Not everything, especially now. Even the clothes, it's expensive.
True.
yeah,
And
maybe
need a lot
her
of money.
just her clothes, maybe.
Even her, you mean her wedding dress? Even her wedding dress, she can't.
I know girls because her father is not how
Alive, he's dead.
just no, sometimes not that
No, maybe he
even
can't.
he
He
lied,
can't.
but
He's
yes,
he's
and
not very rich. You're
only
saying.
have salary. Yes, even
Yeah.
have only salary and how to yes, I
Yeah, I
know
see.
lots of girls.
So they help as much as they can.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But where does the money go? I mean, what do they spend the money on? This is a question. Where do the expenses go in
To
a
spend the
wedding?
money.
Wallahi,
It
for
is the
me
problem here.
nowadays, for the nothing, I think.
Okay, tell us your opinion first,
Yeah.
Anna. You think it's the money goes on nothing? But it goes
Yes,
somewhere.
because nowadays there is a lot of things not needed. Why? Why? Especially where we'll do the wedding for in the or for the I don't know
The hall? You mean the
hala,
wedding
what
hall?
call it?
The wedding hall.
Yeah, hall. Too expensive nowadays. Why? Just a place for the people. And sometimes there is some girls. I don't know. Um, even the hall expensive and comes another engineer for the decoration and change the decoration and even pay some money. Wallahi,
Yes.
I told you the true and I don't know how her father feel.
Yes,
Yes,
it's crazy.
and even okay, crazy, yes, and even the dinner. You will see. I think the dish. I think nowadays only one dish, 20 dinars. And if you see the guest around 5 1,100.
Mhm.
It's too expensive for me. I don't. I think yes.
And most of it goes into the rubbish bin. You know, if they only ate it, if they finish it, for me it wouldn't be a problem. At least they finish it. But most of them have one bite, and the rest in the rubbish bin goes in the rubbish bin.
Yeah, and even the chocolate from them.
Also, the wedding dress.
Yeah, okay. The wedding dress, I think, depend on the man, not for her. Yes, should be the.
Yeah, but now I see the wedding dresses. So I saw the prices. It's very, very expensive. It's about 1,400 for rent.
14,000.
Just rent, not buy it.
14,000.
Yeah,
14,000
for rent.
قصدك. 14,000 إيجار.
Yeah.
For
From
إيجار.
10.
It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours, I think.
Wow.
Only for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Believe me.
That's insane.
That's why.
Also, yeah. I saw the dress. It's 20,000 for rent. What? Okay.
Wow.
You can buy jewelry for this number, and he feel good, and you feel good.
Yeah, at least
dress.
jewelry stays.
You can
Yeah.
now told everyone I have corona and do simple things.
You mean weddings
corona.
nowadays?
No, even corona. Even corona.
No,
like,
even corona.
Still doing everything. And I think it's,
they still
everything it's too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a crazy situation.
And nowadays, the women wear 2 dresses, not only one. One of them
Why?
from the Turkish, and to do the
Party.
I don't know. Yeah, 2, not one address. One of them from the Turkish, and to do the I don't know, to dance to dance the Turkish. Yeah.
To dance?
With me.
Yeah, I hear about that, but I didn't
even me.
saw that.
Even me. I don't go to the wedding because it's. But I heard from my colleague.
So now this is you're saying it's a new tradition that there are 2 dresses.
Not traditions, not more common. No, but I hear for 2 maybe. It's about.
So they started. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I lost the electricity.
I think you.
We think you are run. You run away.
You think I want to run away from weddings? I want to run away from Libya, and maybe marry someone from Senegal or Tanzania or something.
Yes.
Where it's
better
cheaper
for
to
you.
get. It's cheaper there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's just too much. The changes.
But I think
Yeah. What do you think, Haj?
I think it dependent on the girl, how she believe. So if she have a mind.
You mean
to think
open-minded?
about it, yeah, she
maybe she doesn't want all of these things.
Yeah,
But I think you know what, in my opinion, I wish this was, I don't know if I agree with you 100%, because sometimes the girl is very open-minded and she wants to help her husband, and she doesn't want him to spend so much, but her family is gonna be very closed-minded and traditional. Even if she says, I don't want this gold, and I don't want an expensive haul, and I don't want an expensive dress, her parents will say, are you stupid? Make him pay. Get from him gold. No. You get the idea. So she will do it not
maybe.
because she wants it, because her parents are saying, you have to do it. Do you get the idea?
Yeah, yes, but nowadays I saw the girls from my age. They just say if only if he had a house, it's okay for gold and everything.
Later, not now.
They know the situation. Yeah.
I see your point. Yeah,
Where
maybe if
the
it's
man where the man have
Yeah,
them
there is a
strength.
man who have a house.
Maybe,
a lot of
maybe
them.
maybe building in the same family house.
Yeah,
and they
Yes,
studying,
this is something true. Yes, because
yeah,
nowadays the flat, I think it's
it's too
too
expensive.
expensive. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
True.
It's now 700,000 now the flat.
yeah.
700,000.
Wow.
Yes,
Yes, here in the
but if
you
he
know
had
the
a
Kawanis, the Hamani here.
yeah
Yes, there is a building, a new building. The flat around 700,000.
Wow. It's a lot.
Yes,
yeah
too expensive. Yes.
yeah, but they think if he had a house, even if with his family, it's okay because
Okay, but
now
we will. There is lots of problems after the wedding.
Yes, problems will start. Oh, your mother, she
Really?
didn't say hello to me.
Yeah.
Your sister,
Yes.
she
yeah
went and she acted
Yeah.
like I wasn't there. Why are your family like
She
this?
she didn't cleanse the stairs.
Yeah, she didn't clean
yeah
the stairs.
Really.
Does she think she's living in a hotel? She's living in a house, not a hotel. Why doesn't she have lunch with us?
After that, his father please leave the house and go to the rent to another place
Yes,
to
his parents will,
to
will
be
kick him out.
relaxing and yes, yes.
Yes, unfortunately, that's
My
true. That's the problem, yeah.
no.
Okay, so this is our sad situation.
For me, the rental is better than to live in the same house in family.
I
Not
think.
because I don't like the problems, and maybe I will live. I don't know, but I think it's better,
I think
especially
you're
nowadays.
right. I think you have a
Mm,
point, yeah, because sometimes the
mm,
drama and the problems from
mm,
living with the parents of the husband, I think
mm,
it's gonna be very difficult. So I think you have a
yes,
point. Okay, so these are some of the problems that we have and the wedding situation in our country. Now we want to compare this. We want to compare it to what's going on in the UK. But before we do that, we want to read this interesting article. This article is about, what is it about? For better, for worse. Okay, so it says, so there's this reporter, her name is Ginny Bell, and she's looking at her friend's chances of having a happy marriage. So this means we're going to read some of the challenges or some of the difficulties that people who want to get married in the UK have, what kind of problems they face, okay? So you can start. Okay, let's just start with the first part so I can move the article for you. For better, for worse. What does this mean, by the way? For better, for worse. What do you think it means?
advantage and disadvantage.
it's when they getting married, they said that I lived
Yes.
with you for better and for worse.
Yes. And in Arabic, what does it mean? I think we also have
ماشي معك. Yeah.
If we have a phrase
الحلوة والمرة.
صح, and in Egyptian that's what they say. Oh, أو في السراء والضراء. Yes, that's correct. This is the meaning.
الراء والضراء. Yes.
بالضبط, حلوة في المرة. This is the idea. Yes. So Ginny Bell looks at her friend's chances of having a happy marriage. Okay, so this means you can start here with Olivia, and when you get to the bottom, I'll move the page for you. Okay, let me move the page a little bit.
Can you move it a little bit?
Mhm.
Can you move, please?
Mhm. I think this is the end of it.
Okay.
Yes, this is the last part.
I finish.
Okay. Sana, Hajar, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay.
Still the last paragraph.
Okay. You can read it.
Okay. Okay, now I finished.
Okay. Now, can you see what's happening in the cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
Okay.
she's an expert in getting married and divorced and married and divorced and okay. So now let's see some of the questions. Let's start here with the options. So we want to choose the correct words. Number one, it says Tony is Olivia's third or fourth husband.
Third.
Fourth.
Yes, my
Fourth.
people.
Fourth, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he's her fourth husband. Okay. So number two, Ginny went to Olivia's wedding or didn't go?
Went.
She did, yeah, she went. Okay. Number three, Ginny had or hadn't been a bridesmaid for Olivia before.
Had.
She had. Yeah, she's been a bridesmaid before. A bridesmaid. And then it says Olivia hasn't kept in touch with her ex-husbands.
Has.
Yes. Has.
She has. She has. She's been in touch with them. Okay. And the last one, it says more or fewer people in the UK are getting married these days.
Fewer.
Fewer. True. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Now, what about the number part here of the question, part B? We want to see what each number refers to. So when we say 20,000 pounds, 20,000, what does it refer
What
to?
the cost? It's
The
cost.
cost of the wedding.
Yes. And how long does it last?
6 hours.
6 hours.
How much is 20,000 pounds in dinars, in Libyan dinars now? 6 by 6?
Yeah, by 6.
120,000 dinars in 6 hours.
Yeah, it's that what happened. Maybe
120 maybe.
Wow.
1,000.
That's crazy.
100.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And so 6 hours, I think we also answered it. It refers to how long a typical wedding is, right? So a typical wedding is about 6 hours long. Okay. And what about 3,300 pounds? What does this refer to?
Per hour.
Per hour.
Yeah.
Exactly. This means how much a wedding costs per hour. It's quite a lot. Okay, and 15,000 pounds, what does it refer to?
Divorce.
Yeah. Divorce cost.
Divorce, yes. So divorce costs 15,000 pounds. What about this number? 459,000 pounds.
Where weddings in the UK?
The number of weddings. The number of weddings. Yes.
In 1971.
Correct.
Yeah.
1971. This is how many weddings there were. Correct.
Yeah.
And what about
231? 2009.
Yes.
The number of weddings, yeah.
Do you see it's almost half, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to remember that the population is increasing. So there's more population and less weddings. Okay. And then we have 45%.
Percentage of divorce.
That's the percentage, the divorce rate. But where? In which
UK.
country?
In the UK.
In the UK. And in Italy?
In Italy, yes, it's 12.
It's
12 in Italy.
But why do you
12
think? Why do you think there's a difference? There's a big difference between divorce rates in the UK and in Italy. What's the reason?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
Mhm.
Okay, you can make a
Maybe-
guess.
Maybe the living in the Italy it's better than in the UK. Maybe UK it's more expensive. Maybe.
Yeah.
But do you think if it's more expensive, people would want to divorce, or the opposite? Do you think maybe if it's more expensive, people it's cheaper to stay together? Don't you think? I mean, I'm talking about divorce, not marriage.
I think
Yeah.
I think the British people is tough. It's
They're not easygoing.
like it.
But now in
Yeah.
Italy, this average is raise.
It's rise. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay.
It's higher now in Italy than 12, because this statistic is a little old. It's 2009, I think.
Yes.
But I don't know how much it increased.
Maybe
a little bit.
60%.
60? Do you mean 16?
Yeah, 60.
60 in Italy? 60?
Yeah.
I don't
in
think so.
2020.
Are you sure? Did you check this?
I heard that before, not now.
I don't know. I think that's too much.
You mean 16%?
60%.
I don't think that's right, but let me check very quickly. Let's check Uncle Google. What does Uncle Google says? Okay, so divorce rates in Italy. In Italy, let's take a look. 2020. The crude rate, no, this is Italy, 80% Catholic. It has, okay, it's saying that in Italy they have one of the lowest, no, 60 for every 100. Interact. The highest divorce rate led by Portugal. It's actually, it says, here, let me share the screen with you so you can see what I'm seeing. Oops. Okay, so here, this is what I'm checking. What is the divorce rate? Divorce rate, divorce. Fewer weddings and more divorces. Divorce rate. I think Malak might be right. I think there's a change. Yes. No, it increased by 60%, but it's not 60 right now. I think because of Corona and everybody.
Yes, in 2020.
Yeah.
Not now.
Exactly. Yeah. Divorce number. So there's an increase in divorce, but anyways. So yes, things aren't going well. Okay, let's check the rest of the questions. Let's go back. So now we're going to talk a little bit about phrasal verbs. Let's take a look at some of the phrasal verbs we have. So here in number 3, it says, look at the phrasal verbs in bold in the article, match them to their meanings in number 10, 1 to 10, write the infinitive of the verbs. So let's start this. Let's start it as a guessing question. and then we'll see how it goes. So number one, it says to avoid doing something that you don't want to, do. This is get out of. Okay, so get out of, this is the meaning when you avoid something that you don't want to do. Now, I want you to look for a phrasal verb which has the meaning to feel better after you have been unhappy or ill. Which phrasal verb has this meaning? Or maybe it will be easier if you read all the questions. If you read all the points, number 1 to 10. After you finish reading number 1 to 10, so here, just read number 1 to 10. And after you finish them, we'll try to match them with the phrasal verbs. Okay, so let's do this. Wa alaikum salam. Hello, Mohammed, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm all right, I'm okay. Okay, so let me explain what we're doing in this exercise, Mohammed. So here we're trying to find phrasal verbs from this article. So we have a number of phrasal verbs in the article, and we want to find we want to match each phrasal verb with the meaning from the list below. So this is the list with different meanings, and we want to match them with the phrasal verbs. For example, fallen out. This is one of the phrasal verbs. What do you think is the meaning of fallen out from this list? Which one? Take a minute, read all 10 meanings first, and then maybe you can decide.
I think decide or arrange to do something at a later time.
Okay, let's see if the rest of the class agrees. Do you agree, Hajar? Do you think that's right? Fallen out?
No, in the marriage or a relationship.
End a marriage or a relationship? But let's see. What does it say? Let's see the sentence, the original sentence. When my husband and I were leaving the reception, Olivia came up and said to say goodbye and said, you two have never fallen out, have you? How can I
think
make this?
argue with someone and stop being friendly with them.
That's correct. That's the right answer. So actually fallen out is to argue with someone and stop being friendly with them. That's correct. Okay.
But I think
What do you think?
you two have never fallen out means you two didn't end your marriage because she divorced 3 times.
But there's another one that means end marriage. When we go up in the article, you can see it. But fallen out is correct. It's the right one. Argue. Okay. Now, what about? Okay, here we have another one. Looked up. I looked some figures up. Looked up. So what do you think? Looked up.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Find some
information in the book.
That's
or
correct.
in the computer.
Yes, yes. So this is the meaning of looked up. Okay, just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so looked up is number 4. Now, what about going up? Well, it says here that the UK, the number of divorces in the UK is still going up.
Increase or rise.
Increase or
Correct.
Number
rise.
3.
Number 3, increase or rise. That's correct. So going up, this is the meaning of going up. Increase or rise, that's correct. Let's check the next one. Came across. The week before Olivia's wedding, I came across a newspaper. Came across a newspaper. What do you think? Came
Find
across.
something by
Number
accident.
10.
That's
Yes,
right.
so, yeah.
Yes, number 10, find something by accident. That's correct. Okay. Came across, find, got over. Fortunately, Olivia got over her last 3
Yes,
divorces
and
quickly.
marriage. Yes,
That's and married.
No, I think number 2. Feel
Correct.
better after you have been unhappy or ill.
That's actually correct. When you get over someone or you get over something, it means now you're better. Now you feel better. Sana is right, yeah. So this is the meaning of to get over someone or something. Correct. So number 2. Got over is number 2. Split up. This is the one that Hajri were looking for earlier.
Yeah.
So split up, it's number 9. End a marriage or a relationship. The right phrasal verb is split up. Split up. Split up. Okay, let's check the next one. I think we have 2 others. Come up with. However, I couldn't come up with. To come up with a good excuse. Come up with. What do you think? Come up with from the list. Come up with. To come up with an idea. To come up with.
yes,
an
think of an
excuse.
idea and or solution to a problem. 8.
That's it. No, that's correct. Number 8. So when you come up with an idea or you come up with an excuse, it means you think of an idea or you think of a solution to a problem you have. Correct. Come up with. Okay. Then we have, what else do we have?
sorry بس معناها بالعربي شنو
Come up with.
with
يعني come up with. I couldn't come up with a good excuse. زي كأنك تقولي ما قدرتش نفكر في سبلة تانية. ما قدرتش ما خطرتش علي بالي فكرة تانية. It's a bit like this. You know, it means you weren't sure. You couldn't think of anything else. هذا لو negative طبعا. I couldn't come up with. لكن لو مثلا خطرت عليك فكرة تقدر تقولي I came up with a great idea to solve our problems. I came up with an idea. It means you thought of an idea, came up with an idea. So this is the meaning. يعني تخطر عليك الفكرة. All right, then we got, where is it? Come up with, كملناها. Get out of. I tried to get out of the whole thing. I tried to get out. Get out of. جاوبينها get out.
This is already answered.
Yeah, it's
yes,
used in
number
the
1.
example number 1. جاوبينها صح. Okay, then we have point this out. I didn't like to point this out to her. Point this out. What do you think? Point this out. I didn't like to point this out to her. Point this out. Let me just tick the ones that we answered. اللي جاوبناهم خلينا ندير عليهم tick.
Tell someone some
tell
information.
someone information you think. Yeah.
Correct. هذه اللي ما جاوبناهاش مثال. Tell someone information you think they don't know. So when you point out something to someone, you're showing them or you're telling them this information. This is the idea. Correct. Okay, and the last one is to put off. To put off something. To put off something.
The last one, number 6.
Number 6, it's the last one. It means to delay, to postpone. تأجيل، تأخير، الفكرة.
Postpone. Yeah.
Postpone, delay, to do it later, to arrange it later. All right, so before we move on, let's take a quick look at the summary of these phrasal verbs so we can remember them. Let's take a quick look. So page 150, 83. Okay, so here we are, this part, 10C. So let's take a quick look. So to get out of something is to avoid doing something you don't want to. This is to get out of something. Get over something or get over someone to feel better. After you have been unhappy or ill, go up means increase. Look something up, it means to search or to find information. To point something out, it means you tell this information to someone else. To put off, to decide to, or arrange to do it later. Fall out with someone, it means you argue. And it means it's like losing your friendship. You two have never fallen out. So when you, for example, if I say, I fell out with Ahmed, it means I used to be friends with Ahmed, but I'm not friends with him anymore. So this is the meaning, fall out. It means you lose your good relationship here, come up with, this means you think of an idea. You think of an idea. Split up, this is the end of marriage or any other relationship. Come across, it means you find it by accident. You didn't plan to find it. This is the idea. All right, so this means we can go back and do the exercise. So number 3, we finished it. These are the phrasal verbs we used in the article. Now, here, let's talk in detail about phrasal verbs, okay? Actually, according to this exercise, we have 4 different phrasal verbs, 4 different types, okay? So today we want to study phrasal verbs in detail. So the first phrasal verb, but before we check them, it says read about the 4 types of phrasal verbs. Okay, so let's take a look at these phrasal verbs. So the first one, it says this phrasal verb doesn't have an object. So in this type 1, it means no object. Okay, can you see the example? Fallen out. You two have fallen out. So there's no object. في subject بس you موجود subject فعل لكن ما في شيء object. هذا النوع الأول. Okay, so this is the first type of phrasal verb. Now let's take a look at the second type of phrasal verb. The second type, it says phrasal verbs always have, you are not telling the type 2, they always have an object. Always have an object. لازم إن object. And the object is after the phrasal verb. So this is the location. You should put it, the position I mean, you should put it after the phrasal verb. So you can say, Olivia got over her divorces quickly. Olivia got over them. So you can see that got over, this is the phrasal verb. And her divorces, this is the object. And here we changed the object, we changed it into an object pronoun, them. So this is type number 2. Now let's take a type number 3. Let's take a look here. So the same thing here, it's the same idea. These phrasal verbs, نفس الشيء حتى always have an object. زي رقم 2, it's the same type. But this time it says if the object is a noun, you can put it in the middle or after. So here it's optional. If it's a noun, But if it's a pronoun, you can't. But if it's a noun, لو الobject كان noun, you can put it in the middle, no problem. It's up to you. You can put it in the middle or you can put it after. And these are the examples. Take a look at the example. The first example says, I looked some figures up. لاحظوا كيف الobject حطوه في النص. Looked some figures up. So the pink part, this is the object. والphrasal verb هذه جزئيتين اللي هو الverb والparticle up. يعني جيت في النص الobject no problem. Or you can say I looked up some figures. حتى هي ماشي حالها. It's okay. Okay, but you have to remember this is only allowed if the object is a noun. زي المثال هذا يعني. في الحالة هذه الobject اللي هو some figures يعتبر noun فالموضوع مسموح. But if it's a pronoun you can't do it. If it's a pronoun it has to be in the middle. زي ما مورينك هنا. So if you're using the pronoun instead of the noun معناه بينحط في الوسط. Okay, so I looked them up. ما نقدرش نقولوا I looked up them. No. لو جيت now نقدر نقولوا I looked up some figures. I looked up some dictionaries. I looked up the answer. ماشي الحال. لكن لو pronoun مش ماشي الحال. This is the idea. Okay, so this is type 3. هذا النوع الثالث. Now the last type, type 4, it says here in these phrasal verbs they have 3 words. يعني 3 جزئيات. ما مش جزئيتين. اللي فاتوا لو تلاحظون كلهم جزئيتين. Fallen out, got over, looked up. كلهم كانوا 2 parts. But here we have 3 parts or 3 words. So in type 4 عندنا 3 words. نفس الشيء. Always have an object. في الحقيقة كلهم فيهم object إلا النوع الأول. النوع الأول ما فيش object. الباقي كلهم فيهم object. And type 4 مشترك مع type 2. نفس الفكرة أن ال object after the phrasal verb. So this is also important. So I tried to get out of the whole thing. I tried to get out of the whole thing. Or you can say I tried to get out of it. يعني it في محل the whole thing. So get out of هادو 3 أجزاء للphrasal verb. Get out of. The whole thing هذا اللي هو يعتبر object of the sentence. And you can do it like this. I tried to get out of it. Okay, so very, very quickly, let me try to summarize or repeat the different types of phrasal verbs. So لو نبغى نلخصوا الكلام هذا كله, let's try to summarize it. نديروا له ملخص. So this means type 1. So type 1 is the only one ما فيش object, no object. Okay? والنقطة الثانية المهمة في type 2 أن ما فيش أي نقاط ثانية. Number 2, it means it has always as an object. هذه النقطة الأولى المهمة. وثاني نقطة اللي هي after the object after the phrasal verb. Object is after the phrasal verb. Capital. Okay. Now type 3 نفس الشيء. Always تو مشترك. Always has an object. اختلاف هنا ال object is after or in the middle. عندنا حسب هيك وهيك. طبعا هذا if noun لو ال object كان noun. اوكي. والنقطة الرابعة هي شبيهة بالثانية. It always has an object. لكن المرة هذه الاختلاف أنها has 3 parts. phrasal verb نقسم 3 حروف ونفس الشيء ال object is after phrasal verb. Is it clear? Do you get the idea? The different types of phrasal verbs that we have?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. فهني شوية معلومات يعني كتصنيفهم يعني. ففي اللي يعني ممكن النوع الأول هو الوحيد اللي ما فيش object، باقيات كلهم فيهم object. هذه النقطة تفرق النوع الأول على الباقيات. وكلهم الأوبجكت بيمشي بعد الفريزل فيرب، إلا النوع الثالث في بعض الاحتمالات يعني يقدر يخش حتى في النص. It's okay. You can put it in the middle. لو طبعا الأوبجكت كان لو كان noun. So this is the idea. Now, I think in the next exercise they want us to look at the phrasal verbs. يبونا نرجع للphrasal verbs ويبونا نصنفهم حسب التصنيف هذا اللي تو تكلمنا عليه. So let me show you both parts of the page, and this will make it easy for us to check the phrasal verbs, and then we check each type. Okay, remember that we just want to guess. If you're not sure, it's okay. Let's start with the first phrasal verb. Can you see put off? Put off. So put the wedding off. Put the wedding off. Put it off. Which type is this? Put off. من أما نوع type 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think? Hajar, yes? What
3.
type? Correct. Why do you think it's number 3? It's correct, but why? How did you know it's number 3?
Because they write the object in the middle.
Exactly. بالضبط. Because we can put the object in the middle. اللي هو جت the wedding جتنا بين put وبين off. So you're right. That's correct. So put off, it's type 3. Very nice. Okay, let's put a list on this. جهادي باش نسجلوا كل واحدة نوع حاشين. So let's put some lines. Let's do a little line like this. So here we're gonna write type 1, and here for type 2, and here for type 3 and 4. Okay, so put off, we're gonna put it here in this group. All right, let's continue. What about point this out? Point out. Point. Well, what do you think of point this out? What do you think, Malak? Point it out.
Object after the verb.
Okay.
Verb.
But is it after or is it in the middle?
It is in the middle.
It's in the middle. So which type we can put the object in the middle? Which type? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
2? Can you put but in 2 it says
No, 3.
3. That's it. So it means like put off, right? It's the same.
Yeah.
So point out is the same group as put off. To point it out, to point them out. Correct. What about get out of? Well, get out of مجاوبين, huh? So get out of is type 4. Can you see it? It's used in the example. That. Get out of. All right, yes. So خنخلها get out of. What about come up with? I couldn't come up with. What do you think, Sana? Come up with. Which type? Is it type 1, 2, 3, or 4? Come up with.
I think 4.
You're right.
Because it's the phrasal verb, 3 words. Come
Correct.
up with.
You're right. Come up with is 3 parts, so it's type 4. All right, and then we have split up. Tony.
Type 1.
Type 1, yes, because it doesn't have an object, right? جاية بعدها الكوما على طول معناها ما فيش object.
Yeah.
You're right. So split up is type 1. Let's write it here. Split up. All right. Then we have to get over. Get over مجاوبينها في المثال هون موجودة. هي type 2. Get over her divorce. Get over them. So get over is type 2. موجودة في المثال. Okay, let's move a little bit and check. شنو عندنا اللي بعدها. I came across a newspaper report. Came across a newspaper report. What do you think? Came across a newspaper report.
Type 2.
4.
Type 2 or 4? Came across.
Came across.
Is it two parts? Is it 2 words or 3 words?
No, 2.
2. Exactly.
Type 2, yeah.
So it's type 2. And here come across. خلينا نكتبها في الانفينيتيف. Come across, came across هي نفس الشيء. Of course, I'm sure you know that with phrasal verbs, you can change them like normal verbs. Come across, came across, I have come across. You can change them in any tense. It doesn't change the meaning, of course. All right, okay. So come across, we put it in the right place. Going up. The number of divorces in the UK is still going up.
Type 1, I think.
Type 1. That's
Without
correct.
object.
There's no object. So it's type 1 because there's no object going up. So the infinitive is go up, of course. Go up. Go up the infinitive. All right, all right. So we're almost done. I looked some figures up. I looked some figures up. موجودة في المثال هذه type 3. It's already answered. Type 3. Okay. تشوف اللي بعدها. Fallen out. You two have never fallen out. You two have never
Type
fallen.
1.
Type 1, and it's used in the example. Okay. All right. So this is, you know, it's a nice summary of how you can understand phrasal verbs, how they work. They're not all the same. So these are some of the differences between them. Let me take you to the summary so you can see a list maybe or a table in page 150. So you can see this. I think it will make it a lot easier. Let me return the page into. Okay. So 150, 54. Okay, so this is what we were talking about, the different types of phrasal verbs. So type 1, we've got fall out, split up, go up, هادو ما فيهمش object. Type 2, هادو always have an object, well object always after the phrasal verb. Get over her divorce, got over them, come across, get over. Not tell it, you can put it in the middle. شرط ما يكون noun الobject, you can put it in the middle, no problem. I looked some figures up. I looked up some figures. Okay, okay. And the last one, here you have 3 parts. The phrasal verb is divided. So I tried to get out of the whole thing. I tried to get out of it. وطبعا الobject always after. Okay, so we have an interesting tip. Let's see what it says. We can sometimes add a preposition to type 1 to make them type 4. All right, so this is interesting. So they're trying to tell us that that sometimes with type 1, if you add a preposition, you can change it to type 4. يبقى عندك 3 طروف يعني.
Because 3 words, yeah.
بالضبط، لأنك أنت زدتي preposition بيصبح لك 3 words بالضبط، هي دي الفكرة. fallen out لما تقولي fallen out with أصبح عندك 3 words. Split up with نفس القصة. Let's see if we have any other tips. That's all. Okay. So let's see if we have a quick exercise we can do. All right, so we have this quick exercise. We can do it before we finish. Number 5. So number 5, it says here, look at the words in the brackets. Where can they go in these sentences? This is very nice. Okay, so number 1, let's take number 1 as an example, okay? So it says Jeanette never got. طبعا الobject هو مدينه لك بين قوسين. مش شرط object هو مرات نقدر نقول الobject باين. Jeanette never got over her divorce. So we can say never got over, but we can't say never got her divorce over. Do you get the idea? يعني اللي احنا دورنا ان احنا بنقوله where you can put the object and where you can't put it. هذا الexercise غرضه. Let's do number 2 together. and then I think you can finish the rest easily. So number 2, it says he always puts الobject اللي هو عنا his homework. Can we say he always puts his homework off until, or do we say he always puts off his homework? Or can we do it in both? What do you think? Remember that the only
In the
type,
middle, homework of.
In the middle.
but let's see, put off. Put off, which type is it? Is it type 3? Put off. Can we put it in the middle? Because if it's type 3, it means we can do it in both places. We can say he always puts his homework off until the last minute, or we can say he always puts off his homework until the last minute. It means we can put it in both. Do you get the point or not? لأن احنا اتفقنا في رقم 3 زي اللي هي looked up. I looked some figures up. I looked up some figures. يعني تقدر تحطها في الميدل ماشي، تقدر تحطها في الآخر ماشي. هذا بشرط طبعا تطلع لنا أن هي put off تطلع فعلا من type 3. خلينا نتأكد منها. Put something off هي فعلا معناها طلعت من النوع الثالث. So what does this mean? Where do we put?
Yes, it is true.
It's true in both, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So both of them are okay. It's up to you. It's optional. If you want to say he always puts off his homework until the last minute, ماشي. If you want to say he always puts his homework off until ماشي الحال in both cases. هي difficult. What about number 3?
After it, after of it, we put it.
Can we say you can't put it off? Or do we say you can't put off it? It when you
Put it off because it's a pronoun.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's a pronoun, we can't put it after the verb. لما يبدأ pronoun. Okay? Can you hear me clearly? Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, number 4. Dylan didn't want to go, but he couldn't get out
Of it.
of it. Can we say he couldn't get it? He couldn't get out it of? Can we do that?
No.
No.
Of it.
Of
Yes.
it. It's correct. So of it is correct.
Because three words. Yes.
Correct. Look these words up in a dictionary. Look up these words. What do you think? Just look up. How?
Look up this word.
Can we say look these words up?
Look up.
No, look up this word.
Okay, but which type is look up? Which type? It's type 3.
Number 2. Yeah, number 3.
So what does this
Type
mean?
3.
It's type 3.
Type 3.
And if it's type 3,
The true both.
yes, it means you can do it in both cases. Because it's a noun, not a pronoun. These words, noun, فيمشي الحال الاثنين. Look these words up in a dictionary. Look up these words in a dictionary. موضوع optional. But now we have a pronoun.
Yeah, it's
In the middle. Look
Only in the middle.
up.
the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look it up. Look it up. ما نقدروش الثانية. Correct. Okay. I came وعندنا this. Came this across? Well, I came across this.
Came across this.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It's after. It has to be after. لأن هذا type 1 أعتقد. Sorry, type 2. I came across this. We can't say I came this across. ما يمشيش الحال. All right, number 8. The teacher pointed the mistake out to him. وإلا the teacher pointed out the mistake. What do you think? Pointed out. Which type is it? Pointed out.
Pointed out. Type 3, I think. Yes.
Correct.
Both of them are.
So both of them,
them.
yes. So I pointed out the mistake, I pointed the mistake out. زوز ماشي الحال. Number 9, I think number 9 is the last one. Yes. All right, I knew Mark was wrong, but I didn't want to point. توجتنا
Point it
كpronoun.
out.
Yes. في الميدل بس معناها. Point it out. ما نقدرش نقوله point out it ما يمشيش الحال. Okay? So this is the idea with phrasal verbs. They need a little bit of getting used to. They're not too difficult. They're a little strange. That's all. They just need to, if you get used to them, and if you do a few exercises, الموضوع يبدأ خلاص. Okay, so that's all for tonight. I would recommend you do, I always recommend this, but nobody listens, to do the workbook units. What are the last units you did? Unit 2, 3, 1, Sana? What's the last unit you finished in the workbook?
Like for me, I started already with the 1 and 2, but I stopped it. After that, I back to the 9.
Okay, and Hajar, unit 1 only?
No, for unit 6, I think.
Wow,
Yeah, 6.
you did quite a lot. Malak unit 1. I know Malak doesn't do any homework.
You're right.
Yes. Well, remember, but when we get to our final exam, because the final exam is very, very similar to the workbook, by the way. So my advice is try to complete the workbook, because this is the best way you can prepare for the final. Because now we're about to start in our next lesson. We're going to start with unit 11.
Yes.
لكن قريب نبدأ يعني maybe you can start preparing. واحسن preparation هو مجرد تديروا الورك بوك، ما فيش قرايه ثانيه. انتوا كان غرض تكملوا الورك بوك، يعتبر احسن دراسه هذا لان الامتحان النمط نفسه it's the same. You can ask Malak because she already did the pre-intermediate exam. Remember the final pre-intermediate, Malak?
Yeah, but you didn't correct for me.
I didn't give you the result. But you passed the exam. I didn't give you the mark.
I asked you, but maybe you forget.
But do you remember the exam? Do you remember the style of the exam?
Yes, it's very long.
It's a bit long, yes, but it's the same as the workbook. You know, it's the same idea, the same kind of exercises.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so
what about Ramadan?
What about Ramadan? I'm not sure. I have no idea. I think we might have. We want to try the 1 hour. Just 1 hour, maybe after
maybe
Salat al-Isha, maybe after Salat al-Isha, maybe we can try 1 hour, and we will see how it works. If it's okay, if it's not stressful and everybody likes it, we can just have 1 hour Saturday, 1 hour Monday, 1 hour Wednesday instead of 2. But even if 1 hour is too much, we can cancel Ramadan. But we have to try it at least one day just to see. This is the idea.
Okay.
All right. So this means we'll meet again, inshallah, on Saturday. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.
You too.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
You're welcome. Good night. Bye-bye.
Walaikum salam.
Nice.